Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic is about parasitic trematodes, and my specific organism is Fasciolopsis buski. So, what are trematodes? Trematodes are also known as flukes, are a group of parasitic flatworms. It is in leaf shape. It is defined by dorsoventrally flattened or unsegmented bodies that are bilaterally symmetrical, that is, their morphological feature. These organisms are so-called organisms of veterinary and medical importance. Why? Because accordingly, they infect and affect both human beings and animals, usually human beings and pigs. Trematodes are mostly associated with such aquatic fauna as fish and mollusks. And depending on the species, trematodes may depend on one or several hosts to complete their life cycle. Classification: trematodes belongs to kingdom Animalia. So as trematodes that belong to the kingdom Animalia, they consume organic material, use oxygen when it is available, are capable of movement and can reproduce and grow. It also belongs to the phylum Platyhelminthes, meaning trematodes that belong to the phylum Platyhelminthes or flatworms are characterized by bilateral symmetry. Its order is in Monogenea and Digenea, meaning they are obligate parasites. For the place of origin of this organism, this is for my specific organism, which is the Fasciolopsis buski. So, in London, George Busk first described Fasciolopsis buski in 1843 after finding it in the duodenum of a sailor. So, what is a duodenum? So, a duodenum is the first part of the small intestine located between the stomach and the middle part of the small intestine or jejunum, where the Fasciolopsis buski attach to the intestinal wall. Also, Fasciolopsis buski can be found in Asia, Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East. But generally, it can be found anywhere where untreated human waste is used as fertilizer. Kanang mga manure, no, or mga waste sa mga both sa human and some other animals. So for the life cycle of Fasciolopsis buski is known to be the largest intestinal fluke of humans because of its size. So for the life cycle, it begins when an immature or unembryonated eggs pass in feces, usually discarded into the intestine and stool by the human being or a pig. So, eggs release Meracidae, which later on invade a suitable snail for its intermediate host. In the snail, in the fourth stage, the parasites undergo several development stages such as sporocyst, rhidae, and cercinae, and then the cercinae are released from the snail. That is stage 5. And insist as metacercinae on aquatic plants. Then later on, that aquatic plants, the mammalian host become infected by ingesting metacercinae attached to the aquatic plants. After ingestion, the metacercinae exist in the duodenum and attached to the intestinal wall. There they will develop into adult flukes for about 20 to 75 millimeter by 8 to 20 millimeter in approximately 3 months. And the lifespan of the adult Fasciolopsis buski is about 1 year. So this is a picture of Fasciolopsis buski. It is taken from Ohio State University. So as you can see, it has 2 suckers. That's why this organism is also called trematodes, because they have their conspicuous suckers. That trematodes means pierced with holes. So the first sucker is for oral or for sucking blood from their host to get some nutrients, and the other sucker is used for attaching to their host. So these flukes are parasitic flatworms that infect various parts of the body. So for example, blood vessels, gastrointestinal tracts, lungs, and liver, but depending on the species. So for Fasciolopsis buski, it infects the gastrointestinal tract. So disease, human infection is acquired by eating aquatic plants. For example, water chestnuts, or ang common sa tuwa is kangkong, that bear infectious metacercinae or incest stage. So most infections are light and asymptomatic. Asymptomatic because dugay man pud gud ang kanang development sa katong organism sa host. Munang dili siya dali ma-detect. But heavy infections may cause diarrhea, abdominal pain, fever, and signs of malabsorption or intestinal obstruction. So the diagnosis of infection of Fasciolopsis buski is called Fasciolopsiasis. It is made by finding eggs or less commonly adult worms in the feces. Kung grabe na gid kay ang infection na ay kanang makita nga kanang worm sa feces sa nga gi-excrete sa human or sa pig. The eggs are indistinguishable from those of Fasciola heptica. So how to prevent this infection? So if nanagay Fasciolopsiasis, it can be treated with praziquantel. This is a medical drug that will be given to you by the doctor. It is taken orally 3 times a day for 1 day. So prevention, it involves not eating freshwater plants in areas where Fasciolopsis buski is endemic. And another one is we should cook our freshwater plants to avoid infections. So that would be all. Thank you for listening, for watching. Keep safe everyone, and God bless us all.